We're in the forgiveness month. I put it in December. I don't know why, but they did. It's called Forgive and Fulfill. Interesting theme for December, but that's okay. Last week we talked about the F word, right? We found out the F word was forgiveness. Okay. Why to do it and why it's so important to our spiritual journey to do it. That's what we talked about last week. So today we're talking about granting pardons. Don't you love it? Granting pardons. We do that in our lives, don't we? Don't you give out, right? You know, when you're ready. I mean, it's not like Spirit pardons us, right? Spirit doesn't pardon us. God doesn't condemn, so God has no reason to forgive. So it's not Spirit. God is love. Spirit is love. We say that all the time. Nothing else but love. So if Spirit is love, God is love. It doesn't do anything else but love. It doesn't condemn. It doesn't forgive. It simply loves. So the whole condemnation and forgiveness thing, that's our thing, isn't it? That's what we do. Science of Mind says this. Ernest Holmes, in his textbook, The Science of Mind and Spirit, says this. Remembering that the Spirit holds no evil toward man and God is love, we should emulate this divine lesson and forgive all, that our hearts may be free from the burden of our own condemnation. That's what it is. It's our own practice for ourselves. It frees us up. Someone hurts us and we condemn them. It's a human thing. Someone hurts us and we condemn them. Bad human, no cookie. Or whatever, right? No fruitcake. No fruitcake for you. Now, and look, you know, and the thing is, we can do really loveless things. I'm not trying to make light of wounds. I mean, we get wounded in life, and it really is serious, and it happens, and it hurts. And yet, we are the ones that do the condemning, not Spirit. We withhold love. We withhold our love. We get hurt, we withhold our love, and all of a sudden, unconditional love morphs into very, very conditional love, doesn't it? I don't love you anymore because you hurt me. Or I'm not going to love you right now because you hurt me. I'm going to withhold my love until I'm darn good and ready to forgive, all right? And then the person, of course, that has wronged you goes through the old, you know, I'm sorry, please forgive me ritual. Has anybody ever done that? You know, if you were on that side of the equation, right? Flowers, the candy, the taking you someplace you're really going to love, you know, doing something special you're going to like until all is forgiven, right? And then everything goes back to normal. It's kind of what we do. Or the other part is the betrayal is so deep and the wound is so severe, it fractures the relationship altogether, right? We go our separate ways. Not going to see that person anymore. They're a jerk or whatever. And then what happens to us is that we're left with those feelings, aren't we? We're left with those feelings. And every time that person comes to mind, we get that, you know that thing? Yo, him, her. You know, the snarl. I love that. The snarl of unforgiveness. Every time we think about them. Now, here's the thing. Can we afford that level of negativity in our bodies, in our energy, right? Surrounding us, surrounding our physical body. You know, we are told that the body is the battlefield the mind goes to war on. Okay? Write that down. Remember that. The body is the battlefield the mind goes to war on. So those feelings, those thoughts of negativity, of condemnation, of grudge holding, that has an effect on us. It has an effect on our body. What are the physical effects of holding that grudge? Now, I've got some answers for you. According to the Mayo Clinic, bringing anger and bitterness into every relationship and new experience, right? When you feel that, that's what happens to the next relationship. You bring that anger and bitterness into the next relationship. They say you become so wrapped up in the wrong that you cannot enjoy the present moment, right? Because you're all consumed by the past relationship. You can wind up feeling your life lacks meaning or purpose, or that you become at odds with your spiritual beliefs. Because your spiritual beliefs are telling you what? Forgiveness is ever available. And yet you're hanging on to your grudge, to your condemnation, right? You lose valuable and enriching connectedness with others because you're tied to the past. You're not in the present. So on the other side of that coin, what are the benefits of forgiveness? Again, I'm going back to the Mayo Clinic. Letting go of grudges and bitterness can make way for improved health and peace of mind. They say forgiveness leads to healthier relationships, improved mental health, improved less anxiety, less stress, less hostility, lower blood pressure, and who doesn't want lower blood pressure, right? We're always talking about that. Fewer symptoms of depression and a stronger immune system. All byproducts of forgiveness. Improved heart health, improved self-esteem. All of that when we practice forgiveness on a day-to-day basis. When you forgive, eventually those nagging negative thoughts go away. And research shows you'll experience less fear, less anger, less depression, not to mention improved sleep. And who would like improved sleep, right? Improved sleep, less physical pain. All of these things are documented. Better cardiac function and increased life satisfaction. Those are all the health benefits of forgiveness. You would think we would practice that every day, wouldn't you? If that's the kind of payoff, you know? And see, and you know what's odd about the whole thing is that we condemn with no help from Spirit. Spirit is not at all concerned. Not in that equation at all. We condemn. All God does is love. It just looks out at the whole entire situation with love. God doesn't condemn. God doesn't forgive. God is just love. But we forgive by giving up that condemnation to Spirit. Isn't that interesting how that works, right? We do the condemning all by ourselves, but when we release it, when we give it up, remember we talked last week, forgiving is giving for. We give something up for something else. We give up our condemnation for love. We give up our grudges for peace of mind. We give them up to Spirit, and that's where Spirit is absolutely involved in the process. Lily Tomlin once really, really captured and summarized forgiveness by saying this. She said, "To forgive is to give up all hope for a better past." I love it. It just is what it is. Practicing gratitude, mindfulness meditation, being in the moment, guided imagery, meditative movement, all of that stuff can help us. Those are all the physical, practical things we can do to release the stress of condemnation, to release the angst, of grudge holding. The more time you spend in a relaxed, calm place, the less upset you are during your day. Do you find that to be true? When you are sitting on your meditation cushion, does everybody have a meditation cushion? If not, get one. Get one. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just grab a pillow and sit on it. Meditation is sitting around waiting for nothing to happen. So you need to just do that. And the more you sit in that meditative place, the calmer that you are throughout your day, right? So Gulan Tubden is a Buddhist monk. And he told this story about forgiveness, and I thought it was really interesting because it really is what we do. Anyway, he said, someone picks up a rock, throws it at you, hits you. Are you mad at the person, or are you mad at the rock? Now, any reasonable person would say, I'm mad at the person, right? I'm mad at the person. Because the rock is a rock, right? But it's the person that caused it. So I'm mad at the person. But then the next question is, well, but what caused your pain? Well, the rock. The rock caused the pain, but you're not mad at the rock. The rock is just an inanimate object controlled by the person who threw it. But then when we begin to understand that the person acting from their own pain is identical to the rock, helplessly thrown by their own pain. So we can go beyond that and look below that and know. Fred Luskin said this. He said, I've been teaching forgiveness for more than a decade, and the simple definition of forgiveness that I work with now is the ability to make peace with the word no. And I thought that was really interesting. And he said that there is a number of ways we get hurt because we got no as our answer when we felt like we should have gotten a yes. You know, when we are in a relationship that we assume is monogamous and our significant other strays, right? That's when we got to know. We assumed one thing about a relationship, and the answer was no. It's not what you thought it was, right? When we got treated poorly by a parent when we were a child, and we knew parents are supposed to do something, and yet this parent is doing something else, we're getting a no. As a child, our parent is supposed to be loving and kind and wonderful, and if they weren't, we got a no. When we should have, and felt like we should have gotten a yes. We are depending on a friend to keep his or her word, and then they just blow you off, right? We assumed something. We assumed a yes, but we got a no. Nope, not happening. And so what Dr. Luskin means when he says that we have to make peace with the no, that's what he means. That we assumed something, or we depended on something, or we thought it was one way, and it turned out, nope, that didn't happen. When we make peace with the idea and the experience not matching up, what we believed and what we got are different. When we can come to peace with that, he said, then we can move forward with forgiveness without prejudice. It is that absence of prejudice that informs us of our forgiveness. When we can move forward without that. And Ernest Holmes said, this is the way to freedom. Ernest Holmes said this in Words That Heal today. He said, necessity demands that we forgive if we are to be forgiven. When we forgive, holding no condemnation, judging no one, then our consciousness becomes the mirror reflecting the greater consciousness, which is the mind of God and the will of love. And that's what our spiritual path is all about, isn't it? It is about becoming more of what Spirit intends us to be. And since God doesn't judge and God doesn't condemn, that's our path. Our path is the same, becoming that thing. We don't... When we forgive, we don't go through life discharging our unforgiveness on our next relationship. Did you ever do that? Did you ever do that? Just because your last partner cheated on you, then you wind up being jealous and suspicious. You become the grand inquisitor of your new relationship, right? Where were you? Who were you with? What were you talking about? What time did you get home? Right? Because of the past relationship, and we have not forgiven, we bring it into the new relationship. We pollute the new relationship with feelings from the old. We try to protect ourselves. I'll never let that happen to me again. Oh, come on. You know you've said that. Right? I'm never going to let that happen. I'm going to protect myself from that. I'll never let that happen again. And we ruin new relationships with old suspicions. When we don't get beyond the no's, the forgiving the no's, we keep protecting ourselves, and we keep protecting ourselves, and we keep protecting ourselves layer upon layer upon layer until no one gets in. No one gets in. We are like these little mobile castles, right? And we're protected on all sides. Granting pardons is really interesting. You would think it's a gift we give to someone, right? Someone who hurt us. And we're going, here you go, you get a pardon. It's okay. Now, it's not a pass, it's a pardon. They're two different things. We're not saying it's okay. We're saying I'm choosing to no longer suffer from his behavior. That's what it really is. But granting pardons is not a gift we give to others. It really isn't. Although it may fulfill that action, it is really a gift we give to ourselves. so that we are not discharging our past on our present. Do you see how important that is? So we are not discharging our old stuff on new relations. And Ernest Holmes said this. He said, forgiveness means reconciliation in spite of estrangement. It means reunion despite hostility. It means acceptance of those who have been unacceptable. It means reception of those who are rejected. Forgiveness is unconditional, or it is not forgiveness at all. So look, I understand the whole thing about putting armor on. Who has not done that, right, in their lives? Not letting ourselves get hurt again, not letting themselves get hurt again. I mean, we've all had those experiences, right? I had a relationship. Well, he was my husband. Anyway. And we were doing the whole trust fall thing. Do you ever do that with somebody you love and trust? It's really great. Anyway. And so it was like, fall back, you'll catch me. Fall back, I'll catch me. I was like, okay. I fell backwards, and he went like this. He stood aside. And I fell on, anyway. And he looked over me, and he said, that'll teach you. You can never trust anyone in this world. And I went, interesting way of looking at the world. Well, now you know why he's my husband. Anyway, here's the deal. It teaches you something, right? And I became an expert at being self-sufficient. Nobody was going to get in. Nobody, right? I was going to do it all by myself. I didn't need anybody or anything or anyone or any belief systems or anything. Now, and I'm not saying that one instance created a whole entire, lifestyle. It's always the little things that go all along your whole life, but it's the one thing that you always remember as the straw. Anyway, the double-edged sword is that when we close ourselves off to everything and everyone, we don't grow. We don't grow. When you don't allow yourself to interact, when you don't allow yourself to trust, when you don't allow yourself to be authentic, when you don't allow yourself to live the large life of spirit, which has to mean vulnerability, when you don't allow yourself to do that, you can't grow. You don't let anybody in. You can't change. You can't become your most authentic self. You can't become that big person that spirit is knowing you to be. All of the things that life calls us to be on this spiritual path of individuality, of authenticity, all of that stuff lies on the outside of all the armor you put on. So you have to go through that. We cannot live the rest of our lives in protection mode. We can't. We cannot, and here's the biggest part about that is because while you're busy protecting yourself, you know what else is happening? You are keeping your gifts from the world. You're keeping your gifts from the world. When you're protecting, nobody can get in, but you can't get out either. And so your gifts are hidden from the world. Your talents, the things that you came here to do and to be and to share, all that is kept hidden inside those walls. So you have to let it all go. You have to forgive. You have to take down those walls. Oh God, I feel like Reagan. Okay, so you have to tear down those walls. Yeah, okay. Because you cannot hide your gifts in the world. Here you are, an individualized, unique expression of God, never before been, will never be again. And you come with your own unique set of gifts and talents and ways of looking at the world and things that you're going to do and stuff that you are going to create your own way that nobody else can do. And yet we keep it all hidden and covered because we're afraid of being hurt again, or we won't let that happen again, or we are, whatever, all that protection mode. Hand out those pardons. Hand out those pardons. Practice forgiveness. Real, deep, honest forgiveness. Not for them, for you. Because it takes that brick out of the wall. It takes another brick out of the wall. It allows your authentic self to come shining through. Give out those pardons. You're not letting them off the hook. You're allowing yourself to move forward. and you get to move forward in freedom, and you get to move forward in joy, and you get to move forward in authenticity, and you get to reveal the real true self that you are, that magnificent gift that you are, that diamond. That diamond, diamonds have all of those facets. I just love, any gem. But they have all of those facets, and every single facet is another part of you. It's another, talent you have, or gift you're giving, or some aspect of your personality, or something that you're here to share with the world. You're here to be bigger and greater and stronger and more loving and more outrageous and happier and joyous than you've ever been before. And the way you do that is by granting those pardons. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, whatever the mistakes of yesterday may have been, today is a new creation. Turning from the errors of the past and no longer carrying with us the sorrows and mistakes of yesterday, today we may enter into a new experience. But it is only when we forgive everyone that we may feel certain that the weight of condemnation is lifted from our own consciousness. We should refuse to carry the negations of yesterday into the positive atmosphere of today, for today the world is made new in our experience. And isn't that what we want? We want today to be new. We want our today to be filled with limitless possibility. We want to step out onto that field of limitless potential and be able to pick and choose what it is we are to be, and we are to manifest, and we are to experience. And we only do that by granting pardons to everyone and not letting anybody else's past hold us back. Thank you so much.
I know I've done this one here before. This year you're off the hook with the car keys because Dan Ochapenti brought the real thing. Yeah, if you want to shake something that jingles, feel free. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Not outside, the snow is falling and friends are calling. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're gliding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with a song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like birds of a feather would be. Just take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending to a perfect day. We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop by the fireplace while we watch the chestnut pop. There's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy as they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie. It'll nearly be like a picture print by Currier and Ives. These wonderful things are the things we'll remember all through our lives. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's check out the show. We're gliding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy cozy are we. Come up together like birds of a feather would be. Let's take that road before us and sing a chorus or two. Come on, it's lovely weather for a lovely weather for a lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Thank you, thank you. Hope it puts you in the mood.
I love that we play Christmas all month long. You know, it's just like way too much work and shopping and decorating and baking to just for one day, right? It's like we have to just, I don't know, maybe we'll take it into January too. What do you think? You want to? And today is the last day of Hanukkah. That's right. I love it. I just love it. Yay. So what am I doing up here? Conscious giving. Thank you. It is. I was like, I'm looking at this thing going, don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Today, now, we're doing conscious receiving, conscious giving, conscious circulation. Yeah, I just like totally blanked. You're forgiven. I so appreciate it. You know, the conscious circulation is just being in the river of God's abundance, knowing and accepting that as we give, so we do receive. As we receive and give, it comes back to us. That spirit absolutely supports its own expression, and we are that. If you are auto-tithing, please raise your hand. You get an auto-tithing card. Yay! And you know what's great about those cards? They have fabulous quotes on abundance affirmation and abundance quotes written by our practitioners, and sometimes we take a quote from Ernest Holmes or whatever. Anyway, if you love it, there are extras, and you can take it home with you if you would like. We give out the auto tithe cards. It's something for you to give in the basket so that you know that you're contributing consciously to the success, the well-being of this community, and allowing us to do what we do so well. So grab your auto-tithe card. If you are not auto-tithing, think about auto-tithing. It's a great way to get those cards. Anyway, no, it's a great way for us to know and depend on how we can budget better when everyone's auto-tithing. Anyway, if you are choosing to give today, we are very grateful. It allows us to do what we do here in the community, inside these walls, outside in the community. Please put your gift in your hand or on your heart. And go within and know that God is abundance and we are that. We know that spirit supplies its own expression and we are that. We know the lavish abundance of nature everywhere we look. We can see leaves on the tree and grass on the ground. We know and accept that the world itself is lavish abundance, and it is all spirit creating, all spirit out picturing itself as abundance everywhere. And we know that we are part of that one life. So I know and accept that these gifts going to vision are part of that eternal cycle of giving and receiving. I know what we give, so we do receive so powerfully. Being in that cycle of eternal return, we are so grateful, and so it is.
This is my wish for the world, that peace would find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine, wish for the world, that peace would find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Let it shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth.
Yay, that was beautiful. Thank you. Now, this is the time for our Miracle Minute. This is your opportunity to share in a brief 30 seconds. See, I say a minute, but I'm not giving you a minute. I'm giving you 30 seconds to share an answered prayer, a demonstration of answered prayer, because we know what? We know prayer changes things. So if you have had a demonstration this week, if you've had something on your heart or your mind and you prayed, or your practitioner prayed for you and things changed, we want to hear it. Hummingbird.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so last year, my boyfriend and I went to the Wynn, Las Vegas, and I said, okay, let's walk around to the Encore. And then as we were done, I said, I want to come back here within a year, and I don't want to pay for it. And so